It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Hope you guys had a fabulous week. Well, this week, the Makers Challenge happened. Something that I look forward to every year. And the people that participated this year did some exceptionally good projects. It's always nice to see people kind of stepping out of their comfort zone and doing something that you wouldn't typically see. I mean, let's be honest here. The majority of Lapidary is going to be cabochons, face polishing, faceted stones, maybe like some polished slabs. That really makes up the majority of what we do. And to see everybody kind of, jewelry making as well in there, that really is kind of the big umbrella. And to see people do stuff that you wouldn't typically see is quite cool. And my submission this year was, well, to make a stone yo-yo out of soapstone. Now, soapstone is a material I've never worked with before, and obviously making a yo-yo is not a thing I have much experience, if any, with, and doing it without any lapidary tools was fun and challenging. Also, quite time-consuming. You know, it took many different work sessions to accomplish this, but it's kind of fun, and it does go up and down. I did learn several things, especially from some of the comments. One person suggested if I had drilled the axle and put a little hole through it, and then put the string through that as I installed it, there would probably be more action to the yo-yo. And then another person was like, well, there's different yo-yo strings, and the string that I have for my fireball yo-yo, this guy, right, this plastic one, these two things, well, there might be better string options, that was something I did not even consider at all, that like, oh, maybe I should get a different string. But hearing that now, I'm like, oh, yeah, like the string for a little plastic guy, maybe it doesn't work for a ginormous stone yo-yo. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun annual thing, and I'm already thinking about next year. I'm thinking about next year because as I progress in this whole lapidary hobby and I acquire a whole bunch of different skills, that's really at the core what lapidary is. You want to make a thing and you buy or obtain or build machines to aid you in that process, and there's this like big arc of skill building. I am just now successfully drilling holes in rocks, and there's a huge learning curve to that one skill set alone of drilling perfect holes, all the different bits, understanding how they work with different materials. There's a lot to it. And, polishing is no exception. I polished this guy up this week, and this is actually going to be one of my giveaway rocks over on Patreon. And this is a Lucky Strike Thunder Egg, and you can see we got those little mossy bits in there. Very nice little pocket, a little bit of water line. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, I only took this up to a 14,000 grit. I did not take it up to the cerium because that little pocket right there in the center, that it dips at like a 45-degree angle, and I'm concerned. Here's the other half here, by the way. I'm concerned that the cerium oxide will get into that pocket and it will never come out of that pocket. And that's usually the case when you have those pockets that dip at a weird angle going into the rock. I mean, where's the other? I have another Thunder Egg around here somewhere. Oh, here we go. That is an excellent example, right? This is an excellent example of one that has a pocket that dips. This one, being this size, would be pretty easy to deal with. Now, this Thunder Egg is exceptionally cool. I haven't talked about it in a very long time, but this was given to me on the first night that we went to our very first rock club meeting in Gresham, Oregon, at the Mount Hood Rock Club. They do this thing where they're like, oh, you know, like new people get a thunder egg. And this thunder egg definitely planted a little seed in my brain of, of rocks, rockhounding, what's out there, you know? And it's a fun piece that I will have forever. That one's in the forever collection. Along with the skills of polishing, I tried something new this week. Something that I really liked. I'm definitely going to be doing more of it. I tried my hand at Intarsia for the very first time. Stone Intarsia. And what I'm about to show you, it's definitely an amateur piece. It's the first thing I've ever made. And, well, mistakes were made, but it was a skill building exercise. And here it is. This is my very first piece of Intarsia. We have a piece of picture jasper, and it is completely surrounded. Look at that. Any guesses what the black rock is? So this is actually 6 different stones fully attached. So we have our picture jasper, 2 top pieces, 2 side pieces, and this back piece. And you can kind of see, if you're really careful, the seam there, and here up in the corners, you can kind of see, can we see, get it? I can see the little seam. So the black rock is basalt, and that's that. It's a whole bunch of flawless 90-degree angles that have allowed me to frame this piece. And when I say this is amateur here, I'm going to put in a photo here of what some high quality Intarsia can look like. Very intricate, very fine stuff, very beautiful. It's like, I don't know really what to call it. It's like very precise work, almost on the level of what faceting is, except it's all done by hand. So a lot of careful fitment, and I enjoyed it. So I'm already working on Intarsia number 2 because I learned some stuff. I got a book ordered on Intarsia, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue down that road because it makes me happy. It's a fun and challenging thing to do. I tried something else this week. I've seen many times on the internet that if you take a piece of carnelian, which we have right here, we have a piece of carnelian, and you throw it in iron out, well, the red comes out. And I've struggled with that as a concept because as far as I know, the majority of the red that you see, the iron that you see in a piece of carnelian, well, it's encapsulated, if you will, in the outer crusty layer of like the nodule. So what you're seeing here is the inside of like the gas bubble, right, that this formed within. And that's where the iron is. So you shouldn't really be able to do iron out on it, except I cut this in half, and I did iron out 1/2, and there is a clear color difference. Let's get some good light on there. There's a very clear color difference between the 2 halves. More than what I was really expecting. And even looking at it under the microscope, I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I mean, you can kind of see some of the color was extracted. Now, maybe you prefer this. Maybe that's a preference, that lighter, almost yellowish carnelian versus the red. And I didn't polish this up, but, well, let's see, do I have any water? All right. I am going to polish this up because it does look nice. It is nice. We got some nice, very subtle banding in there. But more than anything, I wanted to test that whole theory of iron outing a piece of carnelian. Skill and knowledge building, huh? I also got a couple of rocks in the mail this week, which always makes me happy, from my buddy Tim out there in Arkansas. And speaking of Arkansas, if there is a, you know, we don't get out of the western United States much at all. But Arkansas and Missouri would be high up on my my list of vacation spots that I would like to get to at some point and do some rock hounding. Those two places are underrated, and they have some very cool stuff. Some good feed eggs, you know? I mean, who doesn't want to do the whole Arkansas quartz crystal thing? Well, my buddy Tim sent me some quartz crystals, and he knows that I like little things. So these are perfect. Look at that little termination there. Very nice little quartz crystal. He sent me a handful of them, some of which are not going to really show, but they are perfect little specimens for mounting. And I got a little tray over here of them, which is very nice. I'll have to show you these when I get them mounted up in their little cases, because they will really be set off in a way that I can't really show you out here like this. But these are very cool. He did send some Wavelite, which I have only one little tiny mini piece of Wavelite. But look at that. Look at that Wavelite. Beauty. Very nice. He sent a number of little balls of Wavelite. I'm almost, you know, like that. That's a nice little Wavelite ball. Very cool. And he also sent some on Matrix, which that's a good piece. A good Matrix piece of Wavelite. I might trim the bottom. Now that, I don't know much about the exact location, but that certainly looks like a piece of basalt, if you ask me. So I got some good Wavelites from him, which is cool. It's nice to add that to the collection. Look at that. Look at that piece of Wavelite. Very good. Thank you very much. I will get these mounted up, and I can take some good photos and enjoy it. Well, Maker's Week was fantastic. At the time of recording this, I have not seen Theo's video, but I'm sure it's fantastic. Everybody else's video is great. And what else? Yeah, let me know what you think of Intarsia. Have you ever tried it? Do you have any advice for me? Any thoughts? Intarsia? You'll probably be seeing more of it from me. Thanks, Tim. And, well, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, everybody.